Now that the election results are in, you probably find yourself either way up here or way down there, happy or disappointed, maybe even angry. Dr. Joshua Weiner joins us this morning to talk about the dangers of intense anger. Good morning, Dr. Weiner.
Good morning, Keith.
We saw the video of a lot of long faces of Mitt Romney supporters last night in Boston, before, during, and even after he gave his concession speech. How can you tell if someone has a problem with anger when it comes to someone they were emotionally attached to, in this case, the supporters, let's say, for Mitt Romney?
I think it's really hard for a lot of people. People have invested their time, their money, a lot of energy into some of these elections, and when you don't get what you want, it's hard for a lot of people, and they get angry. I think that the key, though, is whether the anger is spilling out into other areas of their lives. So obviously, it's normal to be a little disappointed if you don't get the result that you want. But if you're so angry that you're talking about doing things that are really aggressive or starting to spill out into the workplace or the home place, that's when really you might want to take a look in the mirror and think, maybe I'm going a little too far with this anger thing.
So people can actually lose control of their own behavior when what they're rooting for and what they were invested in and what they dedicated their time and their funds and their energy to doesn't come to fruition.
Well, I would say that they might have a hard time controlling their anger and their emotions, but I really don't believe that people lose control of their behavior for the most part. I think people will say that as a way to push off their own responsibility for their behavior. I think people really need to recognize, yes, I might be angry, but I'm in control of how I exhibit and express my frustration and anger.
So for the people who are walking around today very somber and frankly just moody, how do you tell people to deal with that type of person?
Well, I think for the most part, you just need to give people a little bit of time. A lot of the people who are really upset today, in a few days, it's going to diminish, and they're probably going to be just fine. I don't think it's really in anyone's best interest to try to convince somebody that they really shouldn't be angry or upset about the election results, regardless of who the winner was, right? 50% of the country was going to be a little disappointed with regardless of who won last night. Nobody likes being told, hey, there's really no reason for you to be angry. People who are angry and upset believe very firmly in the reasons why they feel so angry and upset. I think you give them time, and maybe you just focus on the fact that, hey, if you're really that upset about things, we just need to channel that anger into some action.
And some people channel that anger, the people who are angry, they channel it into social media, Facebook, Twitter, and these angry posts that always come out. So should you ignore those angry posts or should you respond?
Well, I think you have to think about what your objective is with these angry posts. So if you read an angry post and you really feel like you want to convince that person who posted the angry post that they're crazy or they're wrong, then I think you could go ahead and respond. But I think the likelihood of your response having any impact at all on that person who made the angry post in the first place is pretty much zero. When people believe so firmly in something, all that arguing back and forth does with them is make them more firmly rooted in what they believe anyway.
Can you and your medical profession and expertise blame any of these anger issues on medical or emotional problems?
Well, there are some anger problems that result from things like depression. Some people with bipolar disorder and ADHD are prone to anger problems. But I think for things like this, what we're dealing with in terms of the election, I don't think that somebody who's angry out there, you need to say, oh, you're angry, and the reason you're angry is you're depressed or you're bipolar. I think that would be going way over the top and very unreasonable.
And lastly, if people have to attend anger management courses, what should they take away from those courses?
Well, what happens when you go to an anger management course is you're learning about how to manage your anger, obviously, recognizing the triggers for your anger, learning coping mechanisms, learning how to be assertive in getting what you want and expressing your frustration rather than being angry and aggressive.
Dr. Joshua Weiner with tips on how to not let defeat consume you, not let defeat control you, how to handle it with grace and keep on moving.
Exactly.
Thank you for stopping by.
Thanks, Keith.